This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Cyberpunk video. Today, we're talking about speed. Let's get to it. So in a recent video that I put out talking about stacking mods, I said that the speed mod wasn't really worth it because you didn't see a whole lot of difference when you are sprinting. You see the main difference when you're walking. While that still holds true pretty much all around, it is possible to see a much larger difference in your sprint speed, but you gotta stack the ever-loving crap out of that mod. Another thing is a bunch of you commented about sneaking because you see a bigger difference when you're using it for things where you're moving slower, for example, walking. And I didn't think to test sneaking because I just needed to see if it stacked or not, and you could tell that it does. Now, something that I found that is relatively interesting about all of this, if we go over here to stats and we click on other, you can see that my move speed is currently 5. Now, what is interesting is that if I come over here and I equip something that has a bunch on it, so this has 3 of the base level ones on there, so adding 10 to my move speed each, and that ends up being 30. Now, if we come back over here to my stats and we take a look, it's still 5. So there's a number somewhere that we don't see that relates to this number that is also our move speed number. We're not seeing our true move speed number, which I don't understand why they did it like that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, just show us the number. If it's like 200, then show us 200. If it's 100 base, then show us the 100 base and let us see this adding to it. But as you see there, we added 30 and this number here didn't move at all. Now, we can see a difference on that because when I was doing the speed test, I only had 2 of them equipped and you could see a little bit of a difference. But in order to get this number here to change, you got to equip a bunch of these. Luckily, I have a bunch of these. To get these things, I just had to make a bunch of legendary shoes and then I just disassembled them. That's like one of the easiest ways to get these. It's not efficient, it's not viable, but it's an easy way to get a bunch of these quickly. So that's how I got all of these. So I'm just going to equip all of this stuff here with all of these on them. Okay, so I have a full outfit. And you can see here, this one has 30, this one has 20, this one has 33, this one has 26, this one has 49, and this one has 40. Now, if we come back over here to the stats and we take a look at my move speed, it's only moved up to 6. I said, screw it, that's good enough. Let's see what happens if we have it up to 6. So I retested sprinting, and as you can see, it makes a much bigger difference when you have move speed on every single thing. Then I tested walking again. We already knew that it made a pretty good difference when walking. I just wanted to see how much of a difference it made. Now, here's the kicker. When I tested sneaking, it is insane how much of a difference. Let me just look at it. Look at the difference for sneaking. This is 100% where this mod shines. I mean, look how different. Now, granted, I have it on every piece and I have it just a ton of it. So you're seeing a huge difference. But even if you put like just say filled your chest slots, if you had 4 chest slots, you're going to see a much larger difference in sneaking than anything else. I have a feeling that that's maybe what this is designed for and they just don't mention it, and that's why we see more of a movement speed difference when you are using it moving slower than when you're doing something like sprinting. Because if you want to see a large difference for sprinting or make it worthwhile for walking, I mean, you could probably get walking up to a sprint speed. It just isn't worth it because you have to put so much of it on you just to even make the move speed stat actually go up a single number. However, with the difference that we have with having it on every piece of armor and not having it at all when it comes to sneaking, I have a feeling that just equipping a couple of these mods to stack them on like one piece of your armor is going to just be completely worthwhile if you're doing some type of stealth build. Non-stealth players, I wouldn't even bother. I would just go for armor. You're gonna need the armor anyway. Stealth build, you're not gonna need as much armor. I mean, even for a stealth build, you may even want to put it on 2 pieces of armor because you're not gonna get shot at as much. So if you're playing stealth right, so you're not really going to need the armor, and that sneak speed could help you. I don't know, I just wanted to get the information out there because it's such a drastic difference when you are sneaking, and show you that you can go in here to the stats and you can actually click all of these and get breakdowns on stuff. So like you can get breakdowns on your armor and of course the other here. But I find it interesting that this number here doesn't change. Now, I don't think that this is a percentage, because if the mod was a percentage and not an actual like number increase, this would go up way more than 6 due to the amount that we have here. Because with everything that I have here equipped, I have 198 additional move speed. So if it was a percentage, then that would bump this number here, unless my math is way off, should bump that number up to 14. But it doesn't. We only get an additional 1 point. So that leads me to believe that the number that we're seeing on the actual mod here is just increasing a number that we don't actually see by the actual amount that it says. So there's a number someplace else and it's actually increasing that number by 10. And then there's some math happening somewhere for some reason that's then giving us this number. All right, that's pretty much all I have for you for this one. I just wanted to get the information out there just in case people doing stealth builds could find it helpful. If you found this video helpful, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be notified when I put out other Cyberpunk videos. And I don't only make guides for Cyberpunk, I make guides for all kinds of different games, so you never know when I'm going to be making a guide for a game you may be playing. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you'd like to join my ʟᴏᴜ Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.